Bless the Lord, O my soul, blessed art thou, Lord. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless his holy name.
As we are continuing in the Holy Apostles' fast, it's good to remind ourselves that it's not just about fasting, as I said in a previous video. It's about acts of charity. It's about staying away from the television and the news media as much as we can. But at the same time, we are witnessing a destruction of the societal norms that have been with our country since the beginning and the foundations as the time we broke away from England. And what I see is the demonization of Christianity, that we Christians, we Orthodox Christians, or we traditional Christians, are now being portrayed by this society of ours as being bigots and unworthy of anything. We're being pushed aside. This is a time when I think we all, as Christians, need to stand up and say, I'm done with this. I'm not going to allow this to happen on my watch. And then we're going to boycott those businesses that have become woke. We are all aware of what happened to Bud Light, and when they had a transgender person represent them. There was this huge, swift reaction by the American public. And we had famous people shooting rifles at cases of Bud Light. Now, I'm not suggesting that we all get a rifle and do something similar. But what I am saying is that we can protest by looking for companies that are Christian-based. This wokeness that is ultimately destroying our nation even has crept up with businesses like Chick-fil-a, who at the beginning were seen as Christian because they were closed on Sundays. And they held to strong Christian beliefs. And now they have someone who is in charge of making them more palatable for people who are, say, transgender. When we have pronouns that are being announced by individuals of they and them, I think it would be good for us to remember that in the scriptures, they and them pronouns were used by the demons. This is not something to be taken lightly. We Christians are not bigots because we are grounding ourselves in the scriptures. We are not bigots because we do not recognize the legitimacy of gay marriages. We are not bigots because we oppose transgenderism. We're not bigots because we don't want transvestites teaching our children in public schools and libraries. We are Christians because the foundation of everything that we believe in, everything, is in the scriptures and the Holy Church Fathers. To remain silent is to betray the church and to betray the scriptures. We're not called to do that. The early Christians stood up against an empire that was out for their blood. And we seem to be in a similar situation today, especially in the West. I find it interesting that the European nations have decided not to provide the drugs and the surgeries for children who are deciding they want to be of another gender. And yet the United States is making this a big thing. I was deeply disturbed when I saw photos of this huge picnic held in the grounds of the White House. And the center flag on the White House was not the American flag, but the gay flag. It's absolutely an abomination, and it's against all the codes that govern what is done at the White House. There was even a transgender woman who bared her chests in front of everyone. And the president later said to her how much he respected her for her boldness, standing up like she did. And at the moment I saw the president say that, the first thing that came to my mind is this is a slap in the face of families who have lost loved ones who were either military or police officers who were shot and killed in the line of duty because they were bold and fearless. And now we have a president who is saying that about transgender people and gay people. We are not, as Christians, called to be against anyone. We are to love everyone. If someone identifies as transgender, well, it's not my business. If they want to see themselves as in a marriage situation with someone of the same sex, that's not my business. But it is my business when our government makes it their business to legitimize it and to make those of us who stand for moral teachings that are traditional demons. I find it interesting that of all the religions in this country, the only one that is under attack is the Christian faith. And yet it's not Christians who threw gay men off of high buildings to their death. It's Muslims that did that. We Christians would not do that. We pray for them, we reach out to them with the truth, and we try to bring them into the bosom of the church for healing, for change. But the religion that would throw them off rooftops or stone them to death is let off by the same people who would attack Christianity. When the LA Dodgers decided to give an award publicly at one of their games to a group of transvestites, calling themselves the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, that was a slap in the face, not only to Roman Catholics, but to all Christians who have stood for the truth and moral teachings that have been the basis of Western civilization from the beginning. All of us should now start looking to see what companies are owned by Christians and operated from a Christian perspective and give them our business. I'm not calling just for a boycott, but a buycott. As they're trying to cancel us, as Christians, let us cancel them first.
Both now and ever and unto the ages of ages. Amen. begotten Son and immortal Word,